What's going on, all my toy collectors and Batman fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the Snyderverse Batman movie vehicles by Mattel Toys, with a couple honorable mentions like the Spin Master 4-inch Batcycle from the Flash movie that came out last year, and also the Air Hogs Batwing by Jada Toys. Now, all these vehicles are based off when Ben Affleck was Batman, and most of them are going to be Mattel Toys because this is back when Mattel had the DC license, okay? Now, this is going to be a longer video because we're going to be taking a look at a lot of vehicles and seeing what different figures from various toy lines fit inside of these vehicles, okay? So make sure you guys stay tuned as we take a look at some more of the Batman vehicle collections that I have down here in the Cave of Wonders. Let's get to it. Okay, now starting off with the Batmobile from Batman vs. Superman. This vehicle came out by Mattel in 2015 when that movie was released. And that movie was the first time that Ben Affleck was introduced as Batman in the Snyder universe. And that was the first time that this vehicle was introduced as well in that movie, okay? Now, right here, you can see it says Epic Strike Batmobile. That's the name of this vehicle. Like I said, it is made by Mattel. Up here on the left, you guys can see that Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice logo right there. And then you guys can see right here, let you know that has breakaway panels. If you guys remember the movie when Superman slammed the Batmobile into the wall, he ripped off the door, like the canopy panels or whatever, he ripped those off. So that's the action feature that this vehicle is going to end up having, okay? You can also see that it comes with two missiles right there, two kryptonite missiles, and then it lets you know that it fits most 6-inch action figures, but we're going to go ahead and test that out, okay? Now, I've already measured the box up for you guys. It's 16 inches long by 7.5 inches high by 8 inches in depth, okay? So that's how much shelf space you're going to need when you're going to be displaying this, all right? Side, you can just see Batman vs. Superman right there. On the back, you guys can see that the missiles do shoot out the front right there. Like I said, it does fit possibly most 6-inch action figures. You guys can see that the panels do break off right there. Obviously, in the movie, Superman ripped off the canopy doors right there. There's two different doors that ripped off. But right here, it's going to rip off these two little panels right there. And it shows you how you basically break those off. You basically push the guns forward, and it reveals like the engine and stuff like that. Then it shows you some other basic line action figures, because there was a difference between the basic line figures and the DC Comics multiverse figures that had came out by Mattel at that time in height, okay? And I'll show you that in a second, all right? Now, I'm actually not going to open this vehicle up because I didn't open most of my toys up when at that time, you know what I mean, when I was collecting, just because I didn't have a place to display them, so I'll just buy them and store them. So I do have some other vehicles that I did open up, but I am going to show you guys how this works, all right? Now, basically, this is the front. It doesn't rotate right here. If you guys remember in the movie, it was machine guns right here, not missiles, but has two different buttons right here where both of those missiles end up shooting out, so you just plug those in. And then this right here is those two pieces that break away. It's two different pieces. It's a piece right here and a piece right there. Basically, you push this forward and they'll pop out, but as you guys can see, they're tied in right here. The reason I'm not going to open this up is just because I have the other one from Justice League, and then I have the other one that was an Amazon exclusive that was a DC Multiverse Justice League Batmobile. So I didn't want three of the exact same Batmobiles all hanging out. That's why I never opened this up, okay? But the canopy does open right here. And other than that, that's the only thing for the action features. The canopy opens, these break away right here, and then the missiles shoot out right there. Other than that, that's it. The wheels don't turn. It's just plastic, and I'll measure it out for you guys in a second, okay? Now I'm going to start off with the basic line of action figures, which are like the $9.99 action figures that had came out. These figures stand 6 inches tall. They don't have very much articulation, but as you can see, his legs do bend forward. We're going to go ahead and fit him in there. He fits in there just fine, lots of wiggle room. You guys can actually push him down if you guys want. Canopy closes, no issue, okay? Let's move on to the next one. Okay, now up next, we're going to be taking a look at the DC Multiverse figures. These obviously are not the McFarlane ones. These are back when Mattel had the license. These figures stand 1/2 inch taller than the basic line figure we had just looked at, so 6.5 inches. And as you can see, it has a harder rubber cape, so it might be a lot more difficult to fit this figure inside of this vehicle. And on top of that, his legs don't come up very high. They're hindered by his belt, and they don't come up any further. So let's try and see if he fits in there. Yeah, I basically can't get him in there. I can't get it to close. It's mostly due to his cape and the fact that his legs don't bend all the way up, okay? So the DC Multiverse figures by Mattel will not fit inside this vehicle, all right? Okay, now up next, we're going to try this other Ben Affleck action figure. This was him in his tactical suit in 2 years later in the Justice League movie. Now, this vehicle has a little better articulation. You guys can see that his legs actually come all the way up. He doesn't have a hard rubber cape. It's more of like a vinyl cloth cape right here. Let's see if he fits in there. Same size, 6.5 inches. So let's see if he fits in here, okay? And he does. Fits in there just fine. No issues, closes. Now, let's check out a DC Multiverse figure. I just went ahead and grabbed one that didn't have a cape. I went ahead and I grabbed the Red Hood. This right here is by McFarlane. So it measures out to 7 inches, if I remember. Let's take a look. Yep, he's 7 inches. So let's go ahead and see if he fits in here, all right? Try and squish them down in there. And it does close. So this thing does fit 7-inch action figures, but it's probably not going to fit the newer McFarlane 7-inch action figures that have capes and stuff, okay? So try and keep that in mind when you're possibly going to buy this vehicle and display it with McFarlane's new figures, okay? But other than that, let's move on to the next Batmobile from the Justice League that came out in 2017. Okay, now up next, we're going to look at the 2017 Justice League Batmobile. This was also made by Mattel, and this is not the same sculpt as the Batmobile we just looked at, and I'll compare both of them for you guys. This one's actually a lot wider, a little bit longer, has extra features that Batmobile had in that movie, if you guys seen the Justice League, okay? Now, I've already measured this Batmobile out for you guys from the top of this fin to the gun in the front. It's 16 inches long by 8 inches, which is the biggest part of the back tire, so 8 inches wide by 5 inches tall, okay? So it's 5 inches by the top of that fin right there. Now, one thing that you guys can notice right off the bat is that it doesn't have projectiles that shoot out right here, and this does rotate as well, so this is just for show. These little missiles don't shoot out right there. The missiles end up shooting out right here in this giant cannon, just like they did in that movie, okay? Now, it does have a canopy that does open up right there, and I'll show you guys what figures fit in there. And then you guys can also lift up the back fins, and it lifts up that whole gun right there and kind of helps you put the figure inside, okay? Then you guys can drop the steering wheel, these little handlebars right there. You can drop those right on top of the figure, and I'll show you how that works as well, okay? Now, I didn't have this vehicle new in the box, basically because I bought this for my youngest son. He had played with it, and I never bought it again. But I do have all the missiles that come with it. It actually comes with 3 missiles. I thought it would have came with more, but it only comes with 3 missiles. And I'll show you guys how those missiles work in a second, all right? But unlike the other one, it doesn't have any kind of pieces that pop off like the other one. Remember how the little the pieces in the front ended up popping off them little panels? This one, that didn't end up having that feature. Taking a look at the back right there, you can see it's just harder plastic tires. They're just hollow on the inside. And like I said, if you guys lift up that fin, it ends up opening the canopy, and then you guys can, you know, it'll help you better put in the figure that's inside there. And then when you drop it down, you guys can clamp his hands to those little handlebars right there if you guys want, okay? Now, it does have the missiles. They're kind of hidden right here, and I'll show you where those are. This big rocket right here doesn't end up moving, okay? But if you push this button right here, you guys can see that they pop up. All right, just like that. And this is the other missile I was telling you guys about. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I don't leave my missiles, you know, pushed inside because I don't want them to defect the spring over the years. But yeah, as you guys can see, each side has 2 different missiles that are hooked right in here, and they basically pop up when you guys push that button. Now, the reason why I didn't have them right in here is because there's no spring in the bottom ones. So no spring in the bottom one over here or over here. So that helps me be able to push those in and basically drop these down without it messing up that spring. But also, I noticed if you guys do put it in the top one right here, it doesn't close as well. It kind of dinks the front of the missile. It will close, but not as bad, you know what I mean? And like I said, I just don't want it to mess with that spring, okay? But I'll show you guys how those missiles work real quick, so don't make this video too crazy long. You guys just load those in, load that one in there. There's the button right there that pushes, and there's the button right here that pushes. And if you guys just put a character right here, let's just say. Sorry, we're going to use the Batmobile to shoot at Batman. But yep, you just push this button, and it ends up shooting. Same on the other side, the bigger rocket right here, like that. Now, obviously this is played with. I don't know exactly how hard those springs are meant to hit, but they don't shoot out very far. I mean, you know, they don't shoot out very hard. Basically, that's the best. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like with the action figures inside of it. But as you guys can see, this thing is a lot wider than that other Epic Strike Batmobile that had came out for the Batman vs Superman. And I'll show you guys them side by side, okay? Okay, now starting off with that 6-inch basic line again. Like I said, these were like the $10 figures that had came out. You guys can either lift up that gun right here, and you guys can see that the canopy will pop open. Bend this figure up. Sit him in there. And yeah, he should have no problem because these figures are basically meant for this vehicle right here, meant for the basic line. That up. Let's check out the DC Multiverse. Like I said, this is by Mattel, 6.5 inches. Does have a hard rubber cape, and the legs do not bend the way that you want them to. It almost looks like he's just lounging, okay? So, but we're going to test him out and see. And yeah, he doesn't fit in there. You can't close the canopy at all, okay? Let's move on to the Justice League one. Okay, now this right here is the 2017 Justice League Multiverse figure. He does have a cloth cape. His legs do bend a lot better than that figure we just looked at. But he ends up being a little bit too wide. Too wide to fit in there. You can't close the canopy, okay? So, yep, he won't end up fitting. Now let's check out a McFarlane DC Multiverse. This right here is a 7-inch action figure. It's a red hood. As you guys can see, he doesn't have a cape. Let's see if he fits in here. Hold it up. Spread his legs apart. Nope. Doesn't seem like he's going to fit in there. Yeah. Yep. Just too big of a figure. He won't basically end up fitting in there. So the Multiverse 7-inch figures will not fit inside this this Justice League Batmobile by Mattel, okay? But yep, that's pretty much it. And I'll do a comparison for you guys at the end of all the different Batmobiles, all right? Okay, now moving on to the Batcycle, I want to let you guys know that there is another Batmobile that we're going to be taking a look at. It's just I don't want to bore you guys with 3 Batmobiles in a row, but I will show you that one later, okay? So moving on to the Flash movie, 2023 Flash movie, Batcycle. This right here was Ben Affleck's Batcycle in the beginning of that movie, in case you guys seen it. Now, this Batcycle came in a box that was 12 inches long by 10 inches tall by 2.5 inches wide, and it came with 2 figures. It came with the Flash, and it came with Ben Affleck as Batman right there, and that's it. It doesn't have any kind of missiles that shoot out, any kind of action features or anything like that. But if you guys want to see a review on this, you guys can check out my videos and go to Spin Master Flash Movie Batcycle, and this will pop up, okay guys? But we're not going to focus on the figures because we're mostly just focusing on the vehicle. Like I said, this is made for 4-inch action figures, so it's not going to be in scale with those other Batmobiles that hold 6-inch action figures. It ended up coming with this little Ben Affleck 4-inch Batman right here. He guys bend his legs a little bit. He doesn't have any kind of articulation in the hands, so he can't actually hold the handlebars on this thing, but he just sits on there just like that. And that's basically how he displays, okay? Yep. And I'll show you guys what this Batcycle looks like in scale with those other Batmobiles, all right? But yeah, it does have working wheels right here. Both the wheels move. It has 2 wheels right here that do move separately, so you can move that one, or you guys can move that one. Back wheel does move. Ends up coming out to 7 inches long by 2.5 inches tall, okay? So it's not a real big Batcycle, but, you know, it does look pretty cool with the vehicles that had came out, that Spin Master had released for that Flash movie, okay? Taking a look at the front right here, you guys can see it does have little handlebars right there. Doesn't have any kind of little kickstand that holds it up, but it does stay up by itself because of how wide the tires are, all right? Great paint work. You guys can see it's all painted like black, like a dark gray black right here. And then all this is all painted silver right around the rims, right up here in the motor and everything. Like I said, no missiles, no kind of projectiles, no lights, no nothing like that. But still a pretty cool looking Batcycle. Now we're going to go ahead and check out the Mattel. Obviously this is Spin Master. This right here is Mattel. This was that basic line. As you guys can see, he's just way too big compared to this Batcycle. So it's going to be the same with the Mattel DC Multiverse line. They're just going to be way too big compared to this little Batcycle, all right? But yeah, let's go ahead and do a quick comparison of this Batcycle next to those Batmobiles by Mattel. Like I said, this is 4-inch. Those are for 6-inch, but I just want to show you guys what they look like real fast, all right? Okay, now here's that Spin Master. Like I said, 4 inches for the 4-inch figures. This one right here is the Batmobile for the 6-inch action figures. This is by Mattel. So you guys can see that obviously this Batcycle is just scaled, too far down. It does look pretty good, sitting next to as far as colors go and everything like that. All the colors match the Batmobile. It's just too small, you know what I mean? It should be a little bit bigger, okay? But yeah, I just want to show you guys what it looked like standing next to this Batmobile. Like I said, 6-inch, this is for 4-inch. So, you can't really complain because they're made by 2 different companies for 2 different scale vehicles, all right? Now, there was another Batcycle that was released by McFarlane. This right here is for the 7-inch DC Multiverse figures. And as you guys can see, I never ended up taking this out the box. I didn't do a review on it, but I just wanted it for my collection. But as you guys can see, that one right there for the 7-inch figures is way bigger than this one right here for the 4-inch figures by Spin Master, okay? But I still really like this one. I love all the chromed out detail that, this one ended up not having. But just because this vehicle doesn't scale with anything that I have. Any of the other Ben Affleck vehicles that I'm going to be showing you today, it doesn't scale with any of those. So there was no point in me taking it out the box because there was no Batmobile or anything like that that had came out, or Batwing. There was a Batwing for the Michael Keaton, but nothing for Ben Affleck. So there was no point in me taking that out the box. But I do want to show you guys that there was a bigger version of this vehicle right here, and like I said, it's for 7-inch figures, and that's it right there. But other than that, let's move on to the next vehicle. Okay, now up next, we're going to be taking a look at Batman's Knightcrawler. This vehicle right here was introduced in the Justice League movie. If you guys remember, Batman used it to transport some of the Justice League members in order to go up against Steppenwolf about halfway through the movie. Right up here at the top, you guys can see it says DC Justice League, and it shows all the logos of all the characters. On the front of the box, you guys can see this really cool digital render of the Knightcrawler. This isn't the actual toy vehicle. This is just like a drawn image that they use for the front of the box. Right here in the bottom lets you know that the name of this vehicle is called the Knightcrawler, made by Mattel, ages 4 and up. And then right here on the bottom left, you see it says Interactive Talking Heroes. That's because this vehicle is actually meant to pair with those interactive talking heroes that had came out back in the day when the movie had came out. I think those toys were about $14.99. They were $5 more than the basic line, basically. And I didn't really collect those, so I don't have any to show you. But basically, they when you stand them really close to this vehicle, they're meant to talk back and forth to the vehicle. And that's why it says it has 20 plus sounds and phrases. And right here on the bottom, you guys can see how Batman's talking to the Knightcrawler. And like I said, they basically pair with each other. When you get them close to one another, they end up talking, okay? But I don't have any of those figures to show you because I just didn't collect the basic line and I didn't collect those talking heroes, okay? Right up here at the top, it also lets you know that this is a motorized walking vehicle. So if you put batteries in it, it'll end up moving around. And I think it requires 5 AA batteries, which I'll take a look once I open it up, okay? Now, I've already measured the box up for you guys. It's 18 inches long by 12 inches tall by 5.5 inches in depth. Sorry, my voice is going out, guys. About 5.5 inches in depth. So that way you guys know how much space you're going to need if you're going to be displaying this in the box, okay? Taking a look at the side of the box, you guys can see the actual dimensions of the Knightcrawler right there once you pull it out the box. Like I said, it says over 8 inches tall, 14 inches wide, 17 inches long. So this is going to be a big vehicle. I've actually never opened this vehicle. Never opened it at all because it was so big. I knew that I wasn't going to have the space to display this along with the Flying Fox, which I'll end up reviewing for you guys next probably, okay? And right here lets you know that as the Battle of the Strikers Island intensifies, so that's where this vehicle was used at. I think it was on Strikers Island. I thought it was some kind of like waterworks area or something. And right here lets you know some of the words that the Knightcrawler speaks to Batman or speaks to any of those Justice League members, which you guys can see down here. Batman, power up cannon, Knightcrawler, time for justice and stuff. Like I said, it has 20 plus sounds and phrases. On the back of the box, let you know that it does have, it does walk, so it does move. It does have some missiles, 2 firing missiles that end up shooting. Right here, let you know it fits most 6-inch figures. And these are some more of those interactive talking heroes right there. Like I said, I don't have any of those, but they are out there. I think they costed around $14.99, if I remember. I'm not really for sure, but I think it was about $14.99. So, but yeah, other than that, let's go ahead and crack this baby out of the box. Okay, now here's the Knightcrawler out of the box and everything that comes with it. Besides these batteries, I'm just showing you guys these batteries to let you know that it requires 5 AA batteries and it requires a Phillips head screwdriver to unscrew the screws or whatever to get to the battery compartment, okay? And as you guys can see, it comes with the main housing that the figure fits inside. Comes with 2 rockets right here to shoot the projectiles. These are the 2 projectiles right here. Comes with 4 sets of legs, and then it comes with these 2 basically wheels that hook on the bottom. They're also kind of adjusters. When you hook these on the bottom, it helps it slide across the floor better. So this thing might do better on hardwood floors, but we'll try it on hardwood floors and we'll try it on carpet, okay? Other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at the directions. These directions, like I said, it lets you know everything that comes with it. 4 different legs, everything I already said, the missiles. This right here lets you know how to open the battery compartment right there. This right here lets you know how to connect all the legs. How to connect those little adjusters that, like I said, roll across the floor. How to connect the rockets. Right here lets you know how to open the canopy, how to load the figure, how to put the missiles in, shoot the rockets out. This right here lets you know how to turn it on, how to end up making it work, and we'll go through all that, okay? Also let you know how those interactive talking figures will end up working with this vehicle, all right? And we'll go over all this stuff once I start putting it together, okay? Okay, now first thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble the legs. Each one of the legs is alphabetized. So like you can see right there where it says B, right here where it says A, and on those directions, it lets you know exactly where to put them at. So we're going to start off with A, and A goes right in the front, okay? This is a pretty big vehicle. I actually have to, stand up or whatever just because it's so big. But yeah, you basically just slide those in. You see those little holes right here? They connect right into there, okay? You just slide them on, just like that, okay? There you see the B, and you just slide this right on here. And it hooks on there just like that, okay? And that's where you kind of get the Knightcrawler kind of spider looking thing or whatever, all right? And I start on the other side. We're going to go to C right here, and C goes on the other side of the front. I have it flipped upside down. Slide it in there just like that. Grab letter D, and then slide that right on the back. Okay, now up next, we're going to throw on these little rollers or stabilizers right here. You can see that one's labeled E, one is labeled F right there. So I'll let you know what side to put them on. And these go underneath it, okay? Like I said, they have little wheels right here that's going to help it roll across the floor, all right? Now, just to let you guys know, I've never put this thing together before again. But once you guys start snapping these legs on and stuff and start snapping this on, I don't think these are going to come off. So if you just want to play with it for a second, think you're going to throw it back in the box, that's probably not going to happen. Because once you snap these on, they're not really going to come off. I tried not to snap these legs on the best I could because I'm planning on putting this back in the box. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Okay, now starting off with E, you guys can see the little openings right there. So here's E and here's F. That on there like that. Here's number F. It's on there just like that, yep. And this will kind of help it stand straight up when these legs start rotating and moving when it starts walking after I throw the batteries in it, okay? Okay, now up next, we're going to go ahead and hook on these little rocket launchers right here. There's 2 of them. They say one is right and one is left, but these things are not labeled at all. I'm going to guess you just keep the screw side, the side that has the screws on the inside so you don't see them when you're looking at it from the side, okay? So basically have the machine gun part right here facing outwards. And then you just hook these into these little slots right there, all right? Yep. Just like that. Now they don't rotate at all. They're just facing forward, so you can't like move them and articulate them, to shoot this way if the Knightcrawler's facing the opposite way, okay? They're just facing forwards. Now it does come with 2 missiles right here, 2 projectiles. And you just load those in there. Just like this. And I'll show you how far they shoot and stuff like that in a second, okay? But yep, right there is how it looks with the rocket launchers hooked onto it, all right? Okay, now before I install the batteries and show you guys how this thing moves and all the sounds that it makes and stuff like that, I wanted to quickly go over the figures that actually fit inside. This vehicle is meant for the 6-inch figures, and it's meant to actually go with the interactive talking figures. So there's a little window that slides open right here. That way you guys can put those interactive talking figures in there, and you can push down, push their little button, push the button on the vehicle, and that way they can talk without you taking the action figure out, okay? So that's what that little window right there slides open for. Now, if you guys open up the canopy, you guys can see it does have a big space right here to fit a figure, but it doesn't have a lot of leg room down here. So it's not going to be enough room to really stretch the feet out on some of these figures, okay? Like I said, it is meant for 6-inch figures. This right here is a basic line figure that came out for the Justice League. Bend his legs up, sit him in there. A lot of wiggle room around, basically. But he does fit in there. Canopy does close. Like I said, these are actually 6-inch figures. Take a look at the Mattel DC Multiverse figures. These are 6.5-inch figures. He does have a hard cape right here. Let's try and fit him in there. And I don't see him fitting in there because his head would have to go down past this right here. So yeah, the 6.5-inch Mattel Multiverse figures are not going to fit in there, okay? Same for this one. It doesn't matter if he has a hard cape, cloth cape or not. There's just no leg room for these figures to fit, okay? No matter how you try and fit them in there, they're not going down far enough they have to go below this, okay? So there's no point in me trying any of the McFarlane Multiverse 7-inch figures because there's just no leg room right there, okay? Now, my subscriber, Ben Oakley, I think that I pronounced his name right, Ben Oakley, he asked me to actually review this with the 4-inch Spin Master figures. So I told him that I definitely would. So this right here is one of the Spin Master figures. Obviously, lots of room, because this thing is very wide. It just doesn't have a lot of room actually going down right here. But I want to show you guys what he looked like in there. There's plenty of room if you guys want to, you know, Dremel, what's it called? Dremel out the area, actually. Like, and see if maybe you guys can get rid of these little bars right here and maybe try and fit in some other figures. This right here is a Ben Affleck figure from the Flash movie, also made by Spin Master. This right here is a Flash movie figure. So there's some room in there if you guys, you know, end up, you know, maybe dremeling out this piece right here and adding in maybe some chairs or something. Adding in some little chairs. You guys will see that there's definitely some room in there to maybe put some figures. Maybe put some little 4-inch figures. Because it's kind of crazy because some of these Mattel vehicles, which you'll see coming up, actually fit better with the 4-inch figures. So maybe not these chairs, but I was just using using one of the chairs that I had laying around. But yeah, like I said, basically, if you guys you know, throw in some of them little chairs, if you guys are willing to do some Dremel, do some custom work, you guys can probably fit maybe like 3 of those Spin Master 4-inch figures in there if you guys wanted to use this for them, okay? Because this is a big vehicle, and I'll show you guys what it looks like standing next to the 6.5-inch Multiverse figures and exactly how big this thing is and how it is standing next to the 4-inch figures as well, okay? Okay, now just open up this battery compartment underneath it. Like I said, it just took one little single Phillips head screw. You just unscrew it and it holds 6 batteries, okay? 6 AA batteries. And then you just slide that back on and screw it in, okay? Okay, now here it all is. Let's go ahead and hit that button real fast. Like I said, the button's on the bottom.
Online and ready for battle.
You guys can see it lights up right here. This right here is that little sensor letting you know what, you know, how it reads the figure that's in front of it. And it does have little buttons right here. This button right here, I'm going to guess is what makes it move. And this button right here is what's going to make all the little lights and stuff flash. So let's go ahead and push this one, see what kind of different noises it makes.
Weapon systems activated.
Yep, you guys can see that little light. Yeah, so it does make a lot of different sounds. I hope you guys can hear that. If not, I'll have to look at the video, maybe put the microphone closer to it. But it is pretty loud, okay?
Sensors detecting enemy presence.
So yeah, it's going to talk whether you have those interactive talking figures or not. It's still going to talk, still going to make noise and stuff, okay? Let's go ahead and see what it does when I push the other button in order to work the legs and make it move, all right? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and hit the crawling button, and you guys can see how this thing walks, okay? As you guys can see, the legs are really not even touching the table on one side. You know, that's what those little clear stabilizers are for, basically, okay? You guys hit that little button right here. And if you guys want to stop it, you guys just go ahead and hit that button again, and it'll basically stop it, okay? Now, it'll also stop by itself. Sorry, this thing is really loud. But it'll also stop by itself if it goes for a little while. But if you guys want to stop it, you guys just hit that button. Now, as you guys can kind of see, it kind of veers a little bit. And I'll show you that once I put it on the carpet, because it runs a lot smoother on hardwood because it has those little wheels on the bottom of there. It doesn't have wheels down here, but it does have wheels on those little stabilizers. But on carpet, it will walk. But as you guys can see, it kind of drifts a little bit to one side. That's what this right here is for. This right here, if you rotate that a little bit, it's kind of hard, but if you rotate it a certain way, it kind of helps it, you know, just like a RC car, it'll help it move a certain way. Okay, now I have it on carpet. This is some pretty high carpet right here I have in the cave, but I wanted to see how well it does, you know, crawling across the carpet. All right, guys? Well, it's definitely coming. It's not moving as fast as it does on hardwood floors, basically. But, you know, but it is moving. It is going. It's just, I think it slides a little better on hardwood floors, okay? And it doesn't look like it veers off to the left as much as it did on the table I had, okay? Okay, now real fast, I wanted to show you guys exactly how these projectiles shoot. There's a little button right up here at the top on each side. So if you guys hit that button, you guys will see that they end up shooting pretty far, okay? Hit that button right there. And yeah, like I said, they both end up shooting. But I did want to point out that Mattel also released 2 Batmobiles, one for 6-inch figures and one for 12-inch figures. They released these back in 2018. These are also made, these were the brand Batman Missions, if I remember. Now this one right here is the 6-inch Batmobile, and the other one was for 12-inch figures. It didn't really have a seat. The figure just slid down in there. But the thing about these figures is that they also came with the same exact rocket launchers as this one did right here. Pull this off. As you guys can see, they're exactly the same. So if you guys end up losing the missile or the rocket launchers for this Knightcrawler, you guys can purchase one of these Batman mission vehicles. And like I said, I think it's the 12-inch one. The 12-inch one then ends up having these right here. And you guys can replace these because they're exactly the same. They're a little bit, very little bit lighter gray, as you guys can see, just a little bit. And the projectile obviously looks different than the Knightcrawler one, but these will fit inside of each other. So, like I said, this is the Batman Missions Batmobile one. This is the rocket or the projectile from the Knightcrawler, and as you guys can see, it still works, okay? So I just want to let you guys know that you guys can replace these in case you guys lose them if you guys go find the Batman Missions one on eBay or something, all right? Okay, now real fast, I want to show you guys what it looks like standing next to those 6-inch basic line and those 6.5-inch Mattel Multiverse figures. This is exactly how it looks in scale standing next to those figures. Here's a side-by-side shot. Yep. I'd say it's a big vehicle, but you know, for me, I feel like it'd probably fit more in scale with maybe some 5 or 4-inch figures, basically. So, but that's what it looks like standing next to them. This right here is a 7-inch Multiverse figure. Obviously, like I said, he doesn't fit in there. This right here is some 4-inch Spin Master figures. Which it does look really massive, but if you guys remember in the movie, you know, it was meant to look pretty big, you know, meant to look, big and brooding, basically. And you guys can fit these all over this thing. And like I said, if you guys did some modifications as far as putting in some seats, 3 of these figures will fit in. I mean, I could fit 3 or 4 figures just squishing them in there, but to make them sit and look pretty cool and add some chairs, you might have to use a Dremel or something, all right? This right here is that Ben Affleck figure from the Flash movie, also made by Spin Master. And right there's a view of what they would basically look like standing next to this vehicle, okay? Yep, and it does look pretty massive standing next to the 4-inch figures. But yeah, let's move on to the next vehicle. Okay, now up next, we're going to be taking a look at another Batmobile. I know we have already looked at 2 of them, but this one right here, if I remember, was an Amazon exclusive, I think. This one right here was the DC Multiverse Justice League Batmobile. So as you guys can see, it has the cannon, which the Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice one didn't have. And this thing is a lot bigger, a lot more detailed, and it's going to fit, you know, bigger size figures than what the other 2 basic line Batmobiles didn't, okay? And obviously, like I said, it's a lot more detailed. Now, I don't have it in the box, but I'm going to obviously show you guys an image of what it looked like in a box. It was in the same kind of red box as the DC Multiverse figures. Now, I've already measured this thing out for you guys. It's 21 inches long from the back of that fin to the front of this gun. It is 1 foot, so 12 inches from tire to tire right back here. And it's 5.5 inches tall right up here, okay? And I'll definitely do a comparison for you guys of those other 2 Batmobiles from the basic line figures that I already reviewed for you guys, okay? Now, taking a look at this one, this vehicle is amazing. They actually came out with a lot of different Batmobiles because people love this thing. They also came out with another one that's even bigger than this one, which was like an ultimate RC car. It had like smoke that came out the back of the engines or something. I think it connected to your phone, and the tires were rubber. They weren't plastic. The only difference is that one was really big. When I seen people, you know, I actually seen it in person. I seen it at Costco, and it was so big that I had brought in my own action figure to see how it stood next to the Multiverse 6.5-inch figures, and it was just huge. It was way bigger than them, and this one right here was way cheaper. I think this one was maybe $59.99 on Amazon, if I remember, and that one was like $160, $170, maybe $200. I can't really remember. But this one just looks so much sleeker, so much cooler. It sat a lot lower to the ground compared to the other one. The other one, the tires were kind of, you know, made it kind of sit up a little bit. But still, that was an awesome vehicle, but it didn't fit with the rest of my Batmobiles, not like this one does, okay? Now, taking a look at this one up close, you guys can see it has those missiles right here on the front. No kind of projectiles or anything like that on this vehicle. Has machine guns, just like it did in the movie when he was shooting at those parademons at the end of the Justice League movie. And they do rotate back and forth. Does have a cannon right here that does lift up. It does go down. It does move side to side, just like that, all right? Like I said, no kind of lights. This is an awesome looking vehicle. I love the way this thing looks. Like I said, it does have plastic wheels, but they're not hollow like the other ones that you guys seen on those other Batmobiles that I reviewed earlier. The wheels are not hollow on the, I mean, they're hollow on the inside, but they're actually wrapped all the way around with plastic rather than just stopping here and then you guys being able to see the inside, okay? But yeah, awesome looking vehicle. No kind of stickers that you have to put on. All the stickers are already there when you buy this vehicle. This right here is the back. Fins don't articulate or move or anything like that. But this is just a really cool. I love this Batmobile. This is actually one of the reasons why I didn't bother even opening the other ones. The only reason that basic line Justice League vehicle was open is because I bought that for my son to play with. And just because, you know, I let him play with my toys, but that way he could roll that one across the floor and, you know, crash it into stuff and everything. Okay, now let's go ahead and check it out with the figures in it. Like I said, it does open up. I do want to show you guys the inside real quick, because there's some pretty cool detail in there. You guys can see a little stick shift right here, and that stick shift does articulate, so you guys can move it side to side. Like I said, no kind of stickers in there on the dashboard or anything like that, but even steering wheel does move side to side. That doesn't affect the front tires at all. It just does move if you guys need it to, okay? Yeah, just wanted to show you guys just how cool this thing looks. This thing is amazing. If you guys are a fan of that Ben Affleck's Batmobile, this is the one to definitely get, you know, personally. But let's go ahead and test it out. Like I said, these are the basic line figures. These shouldn't have any trouble fitting in there. If I can fix his little arm. Yep. No trouble fitting in there at all. Lots of room to slide back and forth. Now, you're probably going to have trouble with this one right here. Like I said, this is the DC Multiverse Mattel because of the cape. That cape might hinder him not being able to get in there. And he does. the cape causes an issue, so I wouldn't want to struggle that much trying to get my figures in there. Let's go ahead and check out the Justice League. This is Batman in his tactical suit right here. Like I said, he does have a cloth cape. His legs do better articulate. No issues there. Fits right in there. Hold on. Yep, canopy closes, no problem. Like I said, that's the Mattel DC Multiverse, not the McFarlane one. And just to check out a McFarlane figure, this right here is that 89 Batman that ended up coming with that gold label Batmobile. Let's check him out. He has a cloth cape as well. And as you guys can see, he fits in there as well, just like that. Okay, now here's a quick comparison of all the Batmobiles we just looked at today. These are all by Mattel, all based off the Ben Affleck Batmobile. Like I said, that one came first from Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. That one only fits the basic line figures, and it will also fit this tactical suit because of the cloth cape and the articulation of the legs. It does not fit the multiverse, the Mattel Multiverse Dawn of Justice figures. This one right here came second. This was for the Justice League movie as well. This one right here ended up measuring out a little bit longer than that one, only because of the fins. So that one measured out to 14 inches. This one measured out to 16 inches, but only because the fins protrude a little bit longer. It's actually the same size vehicle as far as length goes. Width, it's a little bit wider, okay? This one right here is the multiverse one that we just reviewed, and this one right here is obviously a lot bigger. It's 21 inches long, a foot, a foot wide. So it's a very, very much bigger vehicle. And this one is the only one that fits multiverse, McFarlane multiverse figures. So I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out to you guys, okay? Like I said, an amazing looking vehicle, and it also stands really well. It fits in scale really well with the multiverse figures. That right there is an 89, the gold label one that came with that gold label 89 Batmobile, and it fits really well. I've seen a lot of people saying McFarlane should make this vehicle just like he made the 89 Keaton Batmobile, but he really doesn't need to, because this vehicle already fits in scale with that Batmobile, and I'll show you guys in a second. All right. Now, just a shout out to also to Jada Toys. This right here is a 9-inch Jada Toys. I think this is a 1/24th scale Batmobile from the Justice League. This thing looks amazing too. Lots of detail. Like I said, it's not Mattel. It doesn't fit any kind of figures inside of it. But you might be able to glue a Lego guy in there or something like that. But I just wanted to point that out, that Jada Toys always does a really good job on their vehicles as well. But we're just focusing on the ones that fit action figures today. Let me show you this vehicle standing next to that other Batmobile that McFarlane just came out with. Okay, now here's that comparison of that gold label 89 Batmobile standing next to this Mattel Multiverse Justice League Batmobile. As you can see, they're basically the exact same length. I think that 89 Batmobile is maybe a 1/4 inch bigger. But other than that, I measured, having the fins stick out from the back, measuring up in the front, they're basically the exact same size. Obviously, this one's going to be wider because it's meant to be wider. That's them standing next to each other. Obviously, this one has a lot more guns. This one didn't come with any kind of guns or anything like that. I know there's a company called Raymond Toys that ends up making like a better canopy for this one and some guns and stuff like that. I actually ordered those, and when I get them, I'll review them for you guys, okay? But yeah, there's really no point in McFarlane making Batmobile for the Justice League, for the Ben Affleck Batman, just because this one already is in scale. It's already, like I said, it already fits 7-inch action figures. I'm sure that tactical suit Batman with the cloth cape that came in that 6-pack Ultimate Batman collection will end up fitting in here. I have that collection. I just haven't opened it up and reviewed it yet. But yeah, these things fit perfectly together. So no issues there. So if you guys are looking for a Batmobile that's about the same size as this one, you guys go ahead and go find this one. Like I said, it's called the DC Multiverse Batmobile. This is my favorite one. It's bigger than some of my other Batmobiles that I have here, but it does fit in scale with this Batmobile right here. And also with the 1960s Batmobile that Mattel had came out with for I think their classic collection or something like that. But yeah, this right here is the Adam West Batmobile. Not the one by McFarlane, but this right here is the one by Mattel. I actually display my McFarlane figures with this one because it's a lot longer, fits better in scale. Personally, my opinion, the one that McFarlane did. I love the figures, but the vehicle just didn't do justice for the figures, for the scale of the figures, okay? But yeah, just want to show you guys that. Let's move on to the last vehicle, all right? All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at that Justice League Flying Fox. This right here, if I can remember, was a Walmart exclusive, and it didn't come out at the same time as the movie. If I remember, the movie came out earlier in the year of 2017. This came out after the summer towards fall. This in that Batcave that was exclusive for Walmart as well. And I think these were about $100. And they just didn't do well. The movie didn't do very well. So people, adults and kids weren't trying to go spend $100 on this Flying Fox vehicle when the movie wasn't that good. I remember seeing this go from $100 all the way down to like 15 bucks. And I remember buying like 3 of them because I didn't know if it was probably going to be worth money later in life. And I just never ended up opening one. So today I get to open it and check it out. So I already measured the box out for you guys. It's actually 24 inches long by 14 inches tall by 8 inches wide. So that's how much shelf space you're going to need if you want to display this on the shelf in the box. But as you can see, taking a look at the front of it, it says right here that it has 20 weapons and accessories. It lets you know right here that it has 8 different play zones because not only is it a vehicle, but it also opens up to a play set, like a command center basically. So it's going to have 20 different play zone areas for your figures to play. And this is actually meant for the basic line of figures, which was about 5.5, 6 inches or so for the basic line figures. So I'm not even sure if this thing is going to fit the Mattel Multiverse figures that were about 6 inches, but we're going to check it out and see, okay? But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the box. Right there you can see the Flying Fox vehicle. Gosh, this box is so big. Right here it shows you the play set itself. Shows you right here a key features right here, the cockpit. It fits most 6-inch figures, it says. Let you know that it has a zip line. Right there has trap doors, ejection doors, a diagnostic center. You know, Batman always has to have his computers and stuff. Right there has a mission control area. It has a weapon station for Batman. And all the other, I'm going to guess just for Batman, because most of the other Justice League characters don't really have a whole bunch of weapons. Cargo deploy area, and right here it has hidden cannons and stuff, all right? Now this is the back of the box. As you can see, it turns into that command center. So if you're going to be displaying it like this on your shelf, the box is going to be 24 inches tall by 14 inches wide by 8 inches thick. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at this command center on the back of the box. I'm going to go ahead and take my camera off. There, let you know the Justice League, shows you all the symbols for each one of the characters. You can see the zip line. You can see the little computer command area right there. Let you know it has 20 weapons and accessories. But let's go ahead and crack this baby out of the box, all right? All right, now this is all the pieces out of the box. This vehicle is actually very big, so I'm gonna have to step into the camera to show you guys. But this is the body right here. This is the back of the tail that connects to it. It has 2 wings right here, and it has 4 fins that hook to the back of that tail. And then it has a pack of missiles, like this is the rocket launcher with the missiles. Comes with the zip line and a couple other weapon accessories. And then it comes with a bunch of other like armor pieces and the stickers and directions and stuff like that, all right? So let's go ahead and start snapping this thing together, all right? Little by little. All right, this right here is the main body to the vehicle, the play set. Before we start hooking it all together, let's go ahead and take a look at the instructions that actually come with this Flying Fox. We'll run through it real fast, let you know all the parts, let you know that every single part is labeled, let you know the stickers and the weapons that come with this set. And then it gives you directions on exactly how to connect this thing together, which it isn't hard. So, but I'm going to go ahead and run through this for anybody who actually has this toy, but doesn't have the directions anymore. Oh, right there, let you know all the sticker placements. I'm actually not going to put the stickers on because sometimes I do custom work on my toys, so I don't want to have to turn around and go trying to peel the stickers off. So there's how you open the canopy. That's how you put the figure in. This right here is how you open that cargo door right there. You can strap a figure right there in the back as well. Let you know how to move the rocket launchers around, how to shoot the missiles, how you can put them in different spots, how to open it up from the vehicle to the playset. There you go. That's how it looks when it's all open and all set up as a playset. So how to attach the grappling hook, how to attach the zip line. Gosh, this is a lot of instructions, man. How to use the trap door. You guys go ahead and pause it if you need to, okay? I'm just trying to run through this real quick. I don't want this video to be too long. That's where to put all the weapons at. And that's how to hook on the extra armor for Batman, all right? Okay, let's go ahead and put this thing together, all right? Starting off, we're going to go ahead and hook on this back tail to the back end of this, okay? Now, this is the top of the vehicle. This right here is the bottom of the vehicle. And here's that tail piece. As you can see, this is the top window right there to the canopy. So it hooks on just like this on the back, all right? And you can see these little grooves right there that slide right into these little squares. So I'm sure once you connect this thing together, it's going to be really hard to unconnect and try and take apart and put it back in the box. So just make sure you're going to have space for this giant vehicle if you're going to be displaying it. That's probably one of the reasons why I never put this thing together, because I didn't want to have to display such a giant piece, because the movie wasn't that good to me. I like the Snyder cut, but I wasn't a big fan of when it first hit theaters. So let's go ahead and snap this together, all right? All right, now these right here are all the different fins that hook onto the back of this tail. They're all labeled. So this right here, as you can see, it says A. All the other ones will say B, C, and D. So if you're looking at the back of the vehicle right here, there's little grooves right here. There's 2 up here, and then there's 2 right here. So A goes into the bottom grooves right here. So let's go ahead and snap that in. It snaps in pretty easy. Now we're going to grab part B right here. This is wing B. And it snaps right into the other side. Snaps right in there just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and grab C. And right there you can see it's C. And this actually hooks in right here to those top 2 grooves, okay? And it's going to be pointing up. So you don't want to put it in and it's pointing upside down, down like that. You want it to be pointing up. And it snaps in. Pretty easy. And we'll go ahead and grab D. And that's how it should look when you're looking at the back of this vehicle right here. These 2 fins go up and A and B go point down like that. All right. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to snap on the wings. Before you snap on the wings, there's these little plastic pieces right here. It actually comes with 2 of them, and they hook on to the bottom of the wings right here. I think it's to keep them from like, to make it stay up so they're not like slowly leaning down and bending on the plastic. So you go ahead and hook these right onto the back of the right wing and the left wing, okay? Right here is the left wing. You can see right here a little opening. These snap right into there. So you just push them in right there. Same with the right wing right here. You snap those right in. All right. Now this is the right wing, so let's go ahead and hook this bad baby on. Gosh, this vehicle is so big. But you can see these 3 little knots right here that actually hook into these 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. And it hooks in there just like this, all right? And it's in there. Just turn it around. We're going to go ahead and go to the left wing. It has an L on it right there. And you can see this little gun that pops out later, which I'll show you in a minute. Yep. And it's in there. Okay, now guys, here it is basically all put together for the most part, besides the weapons and weapon racks and stuff like that, like the smaller accessories. But as far as the body goes, here it is all put together. Now, this is a huge piece. I ended up not being able to see it very well because I had a black table, so I switched it out to the white table. That way you guys could see it a little bit better, just because the vehicle is, you know, darker black, and then my table was like a shiny black. I didn't feel like you guys could see it very well, so I switched over to a white table, all right? Now, I've already measured this thing out for you. This thing is huge. This thing measured out to 31 inches long by 23.5 inches wide by 8 inches tall at the top of that fin right back there, okay? So this is a big piece, a big vehicle basically in order to display. And I'll show you guys how it scales with the other vehicles that we looked at towards the end of the review, okay? But let's go ahead and go over some of the features real quick. Before that, let's add on the missiles real quick. This thing comes with 2 missiles right here. They have little pegs on the bottom that can peg on. Now, this thing has multiple areas where you guys can hook it into. You guys could hook it into the front right here. Both these little spots. You guys can hook it in right here, right here, right here, or even possibly right here on the wing. And it doesn't end up affecting where the machine gun's pulled down at right here, okay? So you guys have multiple areas where you guys can hook these little missiles. I'm going to go ahead and just hook them probably right here. Like I said, you guys just push those down, all right? Now, I do want to show you guys something. This thing also comes with 4 different missiles. So it comes with 4 projectiles. And you guys just load those in just like this. Just like that. Both of these end up shooting. Now, if you push it once, the top one will shoot. And if you push it twice, or basically you push it a little bit harder down, then the bottom one will end up shooting. But if you want to shoot them both together, just push it all the way down and they'll both shoot out, okay? So remember, just push it down just a little bit. The top one will shoot down all the way and the bottom one will shoot. If you want to shoot them both at the same time, push it down hard at the same, push it down all the way down and both of them will shoot, okay? But yep, let's go ahead and add those in real fast. Just like that. And they do articulate. So if you guys want to move these back and forth, you guys can. Like I said, if you don't want these here, you guys can pop them off and just put them on the wing and have them being right there, okay? Just like that if you guys want, all right? Now I'm going to quickly show you guys real fast how to open up this canopy and what figures actually fit inside. This right here is that 6-inch basic line figure. Sit them down in there. You guys can have them holding these little knobs if you guys want. And it closes and latches, yep. There's that one. This right here is the Mattel Multiverse figure. Might have to bend their legs just a little bit. Yeah, I don't see them fitting in there, nope. I mean, I guess you can if you guys squeeze it down in there, but it's going to kind of, you know, warp it a little bit. So it basically doesn't fit. As you guys can see, I have his legs completely crunched up in there, and he doesn't fit, okay? So there's no point in me checking out the McFarlane Multiverse figures. Now, as far as the 4-inch figures, this right here is that Ben Affleck from the Flash movie. If you guys were able to, you know, mod it, you guys could actually fit maybe two 4-inch action figures in here if you guys wanted to. Like I said, you guys would just have to mod it, basically, you know, put different seats in there or something like that, and then you guys could close it. So I'd say, truthfully, the size of this thing, it doesn't scale well, even with 6-inch action figures, even with the basic line figures that it's meant for. Truthfully, I think it scales well more with the 4-inch action figures, so that's actually what I decided to use it for, is the 4-inch action figures. Just because it's meant to be big, meant to house all those different Justice League members, and it even was meant to fit the Batmobile and stuff, but none of the Batmobiles that we already looked at, besides the Jaded Toys, will actually fit in here, and I'll show you guys that in a minute, all right? Okay, now if you guys turn the Flying Fox around and you guys see underneath it, there's a little cargo door right here. There's no button you push. You guys just pull it down right here, and you guys can see that there's a little cargo bay. if you guys seen the Justice League movie, you guys will probably remember the Batmobile flying out of here when it went to go fight those parademons and stuff. But there's no Batmobile that'll actually fit in here. There's, you know, even the smallest one that I have, which is, like I said, like 8 or 9 inches. This is the Jada Toys. It's not going to fit inside that opening right there. So you guys would need a really small Batmobile. I think Jada Toys makes one that isn't even smaller than the 124 inch. I think there's like a 124 scale. I think there's one that's like 132 or something like that. I'm not sure, but so far that one right there will not fit in here. Now it's meant to strap in like the either the villains when you guys catch them, or if one of the Justice League members ends up getting hurt or something like that, you guys can you know, lock them into this little thing right here. That way you guys can carry them off to safety and then close them inside. Okay, but I actually prefer to use this for the Batcycle from the Flash movie. If you guys seen that Flash movie that came out last year, you guys will probably remember that this flying fox actually made an appearance in the beginning of the movie when Ben Affleck's Batman was chasing down some villains. I actually used this for that right there because if you guys remember, this Batcycle ended up flying out of there. So that's what I ended up using this for. And this little belt right here can actually like kind of help. If you guys wrap it around this back tire right there, it'll help hold it in place just like that. So that's actually what I use it for. I use it for the Batcycle. Now this Batcycle is not made by Mattel. This was made by Spin Master, unlike most of the vehicles that we looked at already today, which were made by Mattel. Okay, but it does, like I said, fit in scale with this, just like the 4-inch action figures. If you guys want to put this bike actually in there, start with the front wheel first, and it'll close right in there just like that. Okay. If you guys get that little belt in there. But yeah, it'll basically close in there if you guys want it to, okay? And pop out if you guys want it to as well. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that this thing does work really well. Even though it's not Mattel, it's made by Spin Master, this Ben Affleck Batcycle does work really well with this Flying Fox vehicle, okay? Now, it's not hollow, so it doesn't go all the way back. It just stops right here. But I just wanted to let you guys know what kind of stuff might possibly fit in there, all right? Now, I didn't know if I forgot to mention or not, but there's also machine guns that flip down right here on each side, this side and that side, and then you guys can rotate these whatever way you guys want. There's no kind of projectiles that shoot out of here or anything like that, besides the ones that I had already showed you guys, and you guys can actually strap this on right here, hook it in right there if you guys want, or, you know, like I said, all the places up at the top. But these things can easily just turn them straight back, and then they just snap right back in there if you guys want them to, okay? But that's an option, you know, one of the play mobility of this vehicle, all right? Okay, now as you guys can see on the front, there's a little red button. If you guys hit this button, this is the first step to turning this thing into the command center, okay? And then there's a little peg that comes out here, locks down, and it kind of helps hold it up. You guys can see that it ends up holding up. It's not going to bend down because it has a little piece right here, and then this piece. Now this right here is where some of those stickers would go, where you know, you would show Batman sitting at this little chair right here. Now, here's the issue I had with this. Like I said, it's meant for the 6-inch scale figures, but they don't fit in there. There's no articulation, you know, to open up the legs for them to sit inside this little chair right here. So I really didn't understand why they would put a chair hooked to here that they're not able to sit in. Now, even though the Mattel Multiverse figures do not fit in the canopy, you can see that their legs do articulate out like this. So they can end up sitting at that chair, but they still look way too big. Like, you know, obviously his head's right here sitting up at the top of that right there. So it's, yeah, it just doesn't look very well for these 6-inch action figures. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Spin Master one right here. Like I said, this is the 4-inch figure. And they fit way better in scale with this, you know, even with this little chair right here. So, yeah, just want to let you guys know that this chair doesn't hold like the 6-inch or the 6.5-inch figures, all right? Now I'm going to show you guys the main feature of how you guys turn this thing into a giant command center. There's a little knob right here. You guys twist that. As you guys can see, I did take those missiles off real quick. That way they didn't end up shooting at me when I was doing this. But if you guys twist this open, you guys can see that these cargo bay opens up at the top. And then there's this huge piece right here that ends up lifting up. But as you guys can see, right up here on the top, this right here is where all your weapons are going to go. I want you guys to see that real quick. And I'll zoom in on that for you guys in a minute, okay? But that right there is where a bunch of weapons end up attaching to, okay? But if you guys just lift this up. Now, because this playset is so big, it's kind of hard for me to just show you guys all the different features at one time. So I got to kind of move the camera. But if you guys flip this up, kind of just snaps in place. This right here is that weapons rack that I was showing you guys when I first opened up the compartment. And you guys can see this is where all the weapons end up hooking into. And as you guys can see, it does have a little trap door. So if you guys were to put a figure right there, I'm just going to use this basic line Batman figure. If you guys were to put a figure right here, just like that, you guys push this little red button right here, you'll see that the Batman will end up falling down in there, okay? And this right here is a little caged area for, you know, the parademons or whatever you guys want to use, all right? Now, I'll lower the camera down a little bit. If you guys push this button, this right here releases that, and then you can see the figure right here, okay? So I guess you guys can use it as an elevator if you guys want, or you can use it as a little trap door for villains, or, you know, an easy access way to, you know, for them to get up here to get down there. Like I said, like an elevator or something. Now, I actually use this for something else, but I'll show you in a second, okay? Okay, now, like I said, this is Batman's weapon rack right here. I'm going to go through all the little weapons that he ends up having. This right here is this little grappling gun. And you guys can see that there's a little grappling gun right here letting you know where to put these weapons at. And they snap right in. This right here is another little gun he has. Now, these are just all gray. There's really cool sculpting in here. So if you guys want to go over them with some black wash, it'd be pretty cool. But yeah, just follow where it's telling you to put all these at. This one goes right here. Here's another gun right here. Here's another one. This actually kind of looks like the one from The Dark Knight when Christian Bale was riding the motorcycle. If you guys remember that, when he was like kind of stopping the motorcycles, Bane's buddies' motorcycles and stuff. Now it comes with 4 of these little batarangs right here. I'm not going to hook every one of them in there, but it comes with 4 of them, okay? Comes with these little handcuffs right here that don't articulate or nothing. They look like they did right there, but they don't. Yep, it comes with that, and that attaches right here. Comes with this little crossbow thing. I'm not really sure what this is. It didn't label it in the instructions that I seen, but it comes like this little crossbow thing. Clicks in right there. Then it comes with 2 little bat bombs right here, little gas grenades. If you guys remember, Batman used those. What is it? Also, he had them like filled with kryptonite when he was fighting Superman and Batman vs. Superman. But yep, those fit in right there. And like I said, this little slot right here is for them extra boomerangs, the little batarangs, I mean. But I didn't feel like, you know, installing every one of them, basically. Now, this thing also does come with a mother box right here, just one. It doesn't come with all 3 of them or anything like that. And it's a really good sculpt work. It's just, it's all one main color. So like I said, if you guys wanted to add some to this black wash or something, or add some color to this, you guys can, maybe some gold or something. But there's no place to end up sitting this in here exactly. So, but I just wanted to show you guys it, all right? Then it comes with this little zip line right here, and then some little like a zip line string thing that ends up hooking to Batman's hand so he can slide down it. And I'll show you how that works in a second, all right? Okay, now you just take one end of that little zip line hook and just strap it in up here. Just like that. And then you'll take the other end and then you're going to hook it down here. And just hook it on right there just like that, okay? And then end up giving it enough room for a Batman to basically slide down there if you guys wanted to, okay? And that's where this comes into play, this little piece right here. This piece right here, you end up hooking to Batman's hands. Just like that. And then you end up hooking the string right through this little loop right there, and then he'll end up being able to slide down. And I'll show you what that does 1 second, okay? Okay, now like I said, you guys can just loop that zip line right through here just like this. End up staying in there just like that. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, maybe because I'm on a hard table right here and it's really slippery, but this line isn't very tight, so I probably would have to untie it right here and make it tighter. But I'm just going to pull it real quick for you guys, and you guys can see that he's supposed to end up sliding down, but he kind of ends up just you know, sitting there basically. You know, he doesn't end up sliding down. So, you know, I guess it kind of depends on how low you guys hold the line to end up having him scoot, okay? But he kind of just gets stuck in different spots. But that right there is what that zip line is for, okay, guys? Okay, now I also want to point out that this vehicle does come with some extra gadgets right here that end up hooking onto Batman. You can see like this one right here is like a scuba diver one, and this one right here is some kind of like one that's arsenal lights or missiles or something like that. Now, they do have little peg hooks right here, and that lets them hook in right here to these two little holes. Just like that, all right? That way you guys can hold them, all right? Now, I also want to let you guys know that I did show you guys how that little trap door ends up popping up, but there also is these little things right here that end up popping those doors, little hinges. If you guys turn those, the doors end up popping right back into place, okay? That way you guys can keep on playing. Now, these little things end up actually connecting. Sorry, I ended up hitting my camera. These little things end up actually only connecting to the basic line action figures, okay? So don't try and use these with the Mattel Multiverse figures or those 4-inch figures that I've been comparing with this vehicle set, okay? It's only meant for the 6-inch basic line series Mattel figures, all right? And like I said, they just connect like that. But if you guys don't want to have them being used right now, there is a spot for them that just connect just like that, all right? This right here looks more like a scuba diver or maybe air, like if Batman was to jump out way high in the sky or something like that out of a cargo plane or something. So, but yep, just wanted to show you guys those real fast. Okay, now here's another little attachment I wanted to show you guys. This right here is to work on the Batmobile or Batcycle or whatever you guys want. You guys can see it does have a little connection piece right there, and that actually ends up hooking onto here, okay? Just slide it on right there, and then you guys can see it is adjustable. This also does articulate right here, not back and forth, just up and down, okay? And this is if you guys need to work on the Batmobile if something happens to it, okay? Now I'm going to show you guys just how big that Mattel Justice League Batmobile is. This right here is for the basic series, not the last one that we just looked at, but this one right here is the second Batmobile that we had looked at. Now, you guys can see that this Flying Fox was meant to be huge. It was meant to actually carry this Batmobile in the back of it. But obviously, you know, that would have made this thing, you know, probably even bigger than my whole table right here. But this right here is how it's going to look when you're, going to be working on the Batmobile, basically. Unless you guys use a different size Batmobile, which I end up using for this exact vehicle. But yeah, this is how it's going to end up looking. Meant to basically, lift up the motor or whatever you guys need to use it for. Now, I actually use this vehicle myself for the Toys Batmobile, just because I love how this thing fits in scale with this Flying Fox vehicle, personally. Now, like I said, I personally use this for the 4-inch action figures. What I like to do is I like to drop this little opening right here. Like I said, this is basically if you want to use that as an elevator or use it as a trap door, like a prison for your figures. But what I like to do is I like to actually use this as a base for my Batmobile. So I'll use this little clear stand right here. I got these off Amazon. I drop that down in there. And then I'll take the Toys Batmobile, and it actually fits right in there, just like that, okay? So if I want to show it like sliding out of this opening right here, you guys can see that it does fit right through there, just like that if you guys want it to, okay? Now, you're not going to, drop it down and just going to slide out by itself. It might get caught by the wheels or something, but I like to use that and make it look like it's sliding out of there, just like it did in the, in the Justice. Okay, now I just wanted to give you guys a quick look exactly of how these 4-inch Spin Master figures end up fitting on here. You guys see that Batcycle goes really well. That's the Spin Master Batcycle. You guys see a 4-inch Batman sitting there at the computer. Don't forget that these things do have little pegs right here that can hook onto the bottom of the feet of these little characters. Yeah, it just fits so much better, I guess, in my opinion, with these vehicles. So, but you guys display how you guys want. That's the good thing about toys, okay? Okay, now here's all the vehicles that I have displayed together. Like I said, I just picked out the coolest Batmobile, which is that DC Multiverse Batmobile. I love that one. It fits the Multiverse figures by Mattel, and it also fits the ones by McFarlane. It's a pretty cool looking vehicle. It has a lot of detail on it. So that's the one that I display. But obviously, you guys can pick out any of the vehicles you guys want. You guys can pick out the basic series, Dawn of Justice, or the Justice League one if you guys want. But yeah, man, other than that, I just wanted to show you guys in scale how certain figures fit with these vehicles, because some of these vehicles, like I said, that Flying Fox don't look like it's meant for 6-inch action figures. And even that Knightcrawler right there, you can see it does look pretty well with the 6-inch figures, but it was meant to hold a whole bunch of the Justice League members. And as you guys can see, it barely even fits one of the 6-inch basic line figures. And like I said, I did want to show off some Jada Toys Batmobiles, just because those Batmobiles are pretty cool, and show you guys how they fit in well with that Flying Fox. And just as an honorable mention, I did want to show off this Air Hogs Batwing from Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. Obviously, this thing is styrofoam. They just painted it black and put some kind of gray paint on there, but it ended up kind of looking like dots. It kind of looks like dots on the camera. But this thing is styrofoam. It's very small. Don't open up. It doesn't fit any kind of figures in there, but it does fit in well with that Jada Toys Batmobile right there if you guys sit it next to it. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off because no other company ever made the Batwing, basically. I think there's a model company named Morbius or something like that made this Batwing a lot bigger, but it still didn't fit any figures inside of it or nothing. So, but yeah, guys, I hope everybody enjoyed that review. I know there's a bunch of people asking me to do the review for this and to show the different 4-inch figures and 6-inch figures with it. So I hope you guys got all the information that you needed. And I know this was a long video, but make sure you guys like and subscribe and show me some love. I just got over 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys to everybody out there for supporting the channel. And until next time, stay cool.